Most golfers out there are doing everything they can to hit the ball farther, buying new drivers, changing their swing, training harder. But the truth is, the secret to more distance might not be in the things you're chasing. It might be in the things you're already doing wrong. Let's start with something most people never think about: your wrist at the top of the backswing. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Most amateur golfers have way too much wrist extension, meaning the lead wrist is cupping or bending backward at the top of the swing. If the logo on your glove is pointing more toward your watch instead of the sky, that's a red flag. It means your club face is open, your path might be off, and you're basically setting yourself up to lose distance before you even start coming down. Now imagine you fix that. Your lead wrist is flatter or slightly bowed, the club face is more square or even a bit closed, and boom, you're in a stronger position to unload power through the ball. Even your rotation gets better, which is another huge key we'll talk about in a second. But before that, here's the tricky part: getting that wrist position right. You can't just feel your way into it. You actually need to train your wrist to hit that position at speed. That means doing drills that force you to stop at the top and check that angle, then blend it back into your swing until it becomes second nature. Now let's stick with the wrist for a second, because while the position at the top is important, what really matters is where your wrist is at impact. If your lead wrist is extended at impact, you're basically flipping at the ball and throwing away all that energy you built up. What you want is a more flexed wrist at impact, especially with your irons. That flexion helps create a better angle of attack and lets you really compress the ball. And with the driver, having a flat or slightly flexed wrist can help square the face and give you just enough extra carry to land you in a better spot off the tee. The tricky part? Wrist angles at impact are really hard to feel. Most people have no idea what their wrists are actually doing. That's where a tool like Hack Motion comes in handy. It literally tells you in real time what your wrist angles are. Once you see the data, you can start working on it, fixing it, and eventually owning it. But wrist position is just the beginning. You know what else kills your distance quietly? Poor weight transfer. So many golfers keep their weight stuck on the back foot like they're afraid to move forward, and when that happens, the ball doesn't get compressed, your contact gets a little iffy, and the power just doesn't show up. Every single great ball striker pushes their weight onto the front foot during the downswing. You want to feel that pressure shift forward, especially with your driver in fairway woods. A simple fix: put something like a golf shoe or a head cover under your front foot at setup, just to remind your body to feel that pressure. Trust me, you'll start noticing better contact and extra yards without changing a thing in your swing. Okay, so we've covered wrists and weight, but here's something that often gets ignored: your setup. Yeah, I get it. The setup is boring. Everyone wants to skip straight to the swing. But here's the reality: a bad setup will sabotage your swing before you even move the club. Think about it. If your grip is too weak, your stance too narrow, your shoulders open to the target, or you're standing too close to the ball, you're already limiting your ability to swing freely and generate speed. Even something like too much shoulder tilt can throw off your path and rob you of power. So slow down, get your setup right, and give your swing a real chance to work. Now let's talk about hips. Most amateur golfers swing almost entirely with their arms. But real power? That comes from hip rotation. If your hips aren't rotating through the ball, you're not just leaving distance on the table, you're practically giving it away. But here's the interesting part: if your wrist is in the wrong position at the top, your body can't rotate correctly. If your lead wrist is extended, your club face stays open, and then your body has to slow down just to help your hand square the club face. That's a major speed leak. You want that club face square earlier so your body is free to rotate as hard as it wants. Watch any pro like Morikawa or DJ, and they all get into that strong wrist position and rotate through like crazy. There are drills that help with this too. One involves an alignment stick extending from the shaft, and if your body stalls or your arms disconnect, you'll feel it instantly. Another one uses a training ball between the arms to keep everything in sync. If you drop the ball during the swing, your rotation breaks down. Little things, but they make a big difference. Now, here's a twist you probably didn't expect. Swinging too hard can actually make you hit it shorter. Yeah, really. The harder you swing, the easier it is to lose control of the club face. You can swing fast, but only if you can keep the face square. That's the magic combo. Power without control is wasted effort, so if you're swinging out of your shoes and still not seeing results, maybe it's time to dial it back and rebuild that control first. Tempo matters here too. Ever notice how some days you're hitting it great, and then the next round you feel like everything's off? That's probably your tempo. The classic ratio is 2 counts back, 1 count down. If your backswing is too fast, your entire sequence falls apart. Try taking slower backswings, feel the weight transfer, and then build up the speed naturally in the downswing. The key isn't just speed, it's timing. And once you find a tempo that works for you, the goal is to keep it consistent, not just hole to hole, but round to round. Alright, so we've tackled all the distance killers. Now let's talk about solutions. One of the easiest drills to build more speed is the whip speed drill. Grab an alignment rod and swing it like a club. You want to hear a loud whoosh sound right after impact, not before. That whoosh tells you your release timing is right, and it trains your body to stay loose, which helps generate speed without tension. Just remember to stay relaxed and let the rod swing freely. If you tense up, the whole drill falls apart. Another great one is the top position flexion drill. This one helps you build a stronger wrist position at the top of your backswing. Most players start with a little wrist extension. That's normal. But the trick is to flatten or slightly bow that lead wrist as you reach the top. Use feedback tools if you have them, or do it slowly at first, then speed it up once you've got the feel. Repetition is key here. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And finally, the faldo drill. This one is all about building a compact, efficient backswing. You preset your wrist hinge early, like halfway back, and then finish the backswing by just turning your shoulders. And this teaches you how to keep everything tight and connected, and it eliminates all the extra arm movement that ruins consistency. It's great for players who tend to overswing and lose structure at the top. All of these drills are designed to do one thing: help you swing better without having to start over from scratch. Because let's be honest, no one wants to rebuild their entire swing. What we want is more distance, more consistency, and a swing that actually works when the pressure's on. And the cool part, these fixes don't take months. A small change in wrist angle, a slight adjustment in weight shift, a smoother tempo, these are things you can start working on today. And when you do, you'll start seeing the ball carry a little farther, land a little softer, and roll out just a little longer. 1 yard here, 3 yards there, it adds up fast. Golf's a tough game, but sometimes getting better isn't about swinging harder or buying the latest driver. It's about understanding what your body is doing, where it's breaking down, and how to fix it in a way that actually makes sense. So if you've been wondering why you're not hitting it as far as you should, maybe now you've got a better idea. And better yet, you've got something to work on that could change your game for good. Keep working, keep swinging smart, and let the club do the talking. Your extra distance is closer than you think. And that's all for today, folks. Now you know exactly why your shots might be falling short and how to start getting that distance back. From wrist angles to weight transfer, it's often the little things that make the biggest difference in your swing. So what about you? Which one of these mistakes have you been guilty of? And which fix are you going to try first? Let us know in the comments. If this video helped clear up the confusion, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to share it with your golf buddies who could use a few extra yards too. Until next time, keep swinging smart.